For years, the question hovered like a glittering mystery. How wealthy are Wang Yibo and Xiao Zhan really? The two megastars, whose popularity crossed borders, languages, and even industries, had always maintained an air of elegant privacy around their finances. But this week, during a joint appearance on a special anniversary broadcast, they finally cracked open the vault. And the internet exploded. A casual conversation turned viral moment. The reveal wasn't planned. It wasn't scripted. It wasn't part of the production's outline. According to the host, they were supposed to talk about friendship, career evolution, and memorable moments. But with millions watching live, one playful question from the audience changed everything. Who is richer? The studio erupted in laughter. Xiao Zhan smiled sheepishly. Wang Yibo raised a brow like he'd just been challenged to a race. And that's when the magic happened. Wang Yibo goes first, cool, calm, unbothered. Wang Yibo leaned back, tapping his fingers on his knee in that iconic laid-back style only he could pull off. I don't really count, he said. But since everyone wants to know, let's say I'm comfortable. The audience booed playfully. Comfortable was not an answer. Pressed again, he finally shrugged and gave a number that sent shockwaves across the room. Over 500 million renminbi. The crowd gasped. Cameras shook. Staff members froze in place. Fans online typed so fast that Weibo servers nearly coughed. But Yibo wasn't done. He added casually. Most of it came from racing, dance projects, brand collaborations, and I saved a lot from my early days. The understatement of the decade. Xiao Zhan hesitates, then drops a bombshell. All eyes turn to Xiao Zhan. He laughed nervously at first, joking. Now you want me to embarrass myself. But Yibo nudged him with his shoulder, whispering something that made Xiao Zhan's ears turn crimson. Finally, Xiao Zhan cleared his throat and said, Mine is a bit higher. The host blinked. The audience held their breath. Yibo looked at him with that mischievous "do you dare?" expression. Then Xiao Zhan delivered the number. Around 600 million renminbi. And that was it. The studio fell apart in screams, applause, and stunned laughter. The two stars exchanged looks like kids caught revealing a secret during recess. Social media erupts. Fans are both proud and shocked. Within minutes, hashtags like #Xiao Zhan net worth, #Wang Yibo 500 million, #Izhan we are not okay, #Two Kings One broadcast dominated every trending page imaginable. Fans wrote, I thought they were rich, not rich. So this is what global popularity looks like. My annual salary is one Wang Yibo dance step. Xiao Zhan smiling while dropping 600M is elite behavior. Brands that endorsed them pretended not to see, but insiders admitted privately that their phones were ringing non-stop. The aftermath, gentle teasing and brotherly banter. Backstage footage leaked hours later, showing the two laughing at how dramatic the audience's reaction had been. Yibo teased. You couldn't let me be richer for one day? Xiao Zhan shot back. You started racing motorcycles that cost more than my apartment. Don't blame me. Their playful bickering only fueled the internet's obsession even more. Why did they reveal it now? Experts believe the moment was unplanned but perfectly timed. With both stars securing major global endorsements, new drama roles, and international exposure, their transparency added a refreshing twist to the industry. But for fans, the reason didn't matter. What mattered was seeing Wang Yibo and Xiao Zhan smiling, relaxed, teasing each other, and sharing a moment that felt genuine, warm, and unforgettable. Two kings, one unfiltered moment. In an age of mystery and media training, very few celebrities dare to reveal their finances openly. Yet Wang Yibo and Xiao Zhan did it with charm, humor, and absolute confidence. And the world fell even more in love with them. What happened after Wang Yibo and Xiao Zhan revealed their net worth? The studio was still buzzing when the cameras stopped rolling. Staff members whispered, assistants scrambled, and producers kept replaying the moment like it was the final scene of a blockbuster movie. But the real story began backstage. Backstage chaos, phones exploding, managers panicking. The moment Yibo and Xiao Zhan stepped behind the curtains, their phones vibrated like they were possessed. Yibo glanced at his screen and hissed under his breath. My manager sent 43 messages. Xiao Zhan wasn't doing any better. His screen was full of notifications from his agency, endorsement teams, drama production groups, and even the brand ambassadors group chat. Mine is worse, my accountant just sent me a whole paragraph. The two looked at each other, then burst into laughter. It felt surreal, like they had just created a new entertainment storm without meaning to. Teasing turns into something more honest. As they sat down in the VIP lounge, Yibo nudged Xiao Zhan lightly. You beat me by 100 million. Xiao Zhan raised an eyebrow. You'll catch up. You never rest. Yibo thought for a moment, then said something softer. I didn't expect you to say the actual number. Xiao Zhan looked down. Me neither, but you went first. I didn't want you to look like you were showing off alone. For a moment, there was silence, a comfortable, brotherly kind of silence. Then Yibo laughed. So you revealed 600 million to protect my image? That's the most Xiao Zhan thing ever. Xiao Zhan flicked him lightly on the forehead. Fans gather outside the studio, a growing crowd. By the time their managers arrived, a large crowd had formed outside the building. Banners waved. Fans chanted their names. Journalists lined up with cameras ready. It wasn't just excitement, it was history. Two of the biggest stars of their generation had done something unheard of. Their managers were both half amused, half frantic. Manager, Xiao Zhan, why didn't you stick to the talking points? Xiao Zhan, he started it. Yibo, I only said one sentence. Manager, Yibo, one sentence worth 500 million. Everyone laughed, even the managers who gave up trying to look strict. A heartfelt conversation on the ride home. When the crowd calmed down enough for them to leave, they ended up in the same van, something their teams always tried to avoid to prevent rumors. But tonight, no one cared. Xiao Zhan leaned his head back, eyes half closed. Do you ever get tired of everything? Yibo stared out the window for a second before answering. Sometimes. But when moments like today happen, it feels fun again. Xiao Zhan smiled softly. I know what you mean. Then Yibo added, unexpectedly, money doesn't change much. But having someone who understands? That's rare. Xiao Zhan turned his head, surprised by the sincerity. He answered quietly. Same here. The van grew quiet again, but it wasn't awkward. It was warm, familiar, like the world outside had disappeared for a moment. The unexpected twist, a joint interview request. Just as they reached their destinations, both their managers received the same message. A major global publication, one that rarely covered Asian celebrities, wanted a joint, exclusive interview with Wang Yibo and Xiao Zhan about the net worth reveal, their careers, and their influence. It would be their first major international appearance together in years. Yibo grinned. Are you thinking what I'm thinking? Xiao Zhan's smile matched his. Let's make history again. And just like that, the two stars walked into the night with the next chapter already waiting for them. The international interview that changed everything. The next morning, the sun had barely risen when the world already knew. Wang Yibo and Xiao Zhan were doing a joint international interview. Every major entertainment outlet ran articles with headlines like, China's power duo breaks silence on wealth and fame. After viral net worth reveal, they step onto the global stage together. Two kings, one interview. The world watches. Their fan bases had already declared it the event of the year. Preparation and the tension that comes with it. At a penthouse suite in Beijing, Xiao Zhan sat in a makeup chair while his stylist fussed around him. He kept glancing at the clock. Yibo was late. Not fashionably late. Not celebrity late. Suspiciously late. Xiao Zhan's manager nearly combusted. Why is he always like this on important days? Xiao Zhan suppressed a smile. Relax. He'll be here. And right on cue, almost like the universe was listening, the door flew open. Wang Yibo walked in with a cool expression, earphones in, hair slightly messy from rushing. I'm not late. You're early. Xiao Zhan couldn't help laughing. You're impossible. Yibo flashed one of those rare half-smiles only Xiao Zhan could pull out of him. Cameras roll, and the world is captivated. The interview began with soft lighting, a serene background, and an elegant interviewer known for her ability to get celebrities to open up. But she had never interviewed a pair like this. Right from the first question, she could sense something unique, an ease, a closeness, a shared history that neither tried to hide. What was your reaction when you heard each other's net worth? Yibo answered first. Xiao Zhan pretends to be modest, but he's been secretly rich for a long time. Xiao Zhan's eyes widened. Secretly? It's not like I hide gold bars under my bed. Yibo sipped water calmly. You might. The entire studio burst into laughter, including the interviewer. Does wealth change how you see each other? Xiao Zhan shook his head immediately. Money can't buy the kind of respect and understanding we have. Yibo added, softly.
Exactly.
Some people are rich in money. Some are rich in character. He is both. The room went silent. The interviewer raised her brows. Xiao Zhan blinked, caught off guard by the sincerity. I didn't expect you to say that. Yibo shrugged. You won't hear me say it again. Xiao Zhan smiled in a way that made the camera crew whisper. The interview takes an emotional turn. When the interviewer asked about their hardest moments in the industry, everything shifted. Yibo looked down. There were times I felt alone, misunderstood. But knowing someone else had walked the same path, that helped. Xiao Zhan glanced toward him. You never said that. Yibo met his eyes. You never asked. A tense, emotional silence followed, the kind that told fans something deeper lay beneath the surface. And what do you admire most about each other? The interviewer wasn't holding back. Xiao Zhan took a breath. His courage. Yibo takes risks without fearing the outcome. He inspires me to be braver. Yibo swallowed, unusually touched. Then his voice dropped. I admire his heart. He always thinks of others first, even at his own cost. Even the interviewer had to pause. This wasn't just a casual conversation. This was raw honesty, the kind fans had waited years to hear. The twist, a question neither expected. Just when everyone thought the interview was wrapping up, the interviewer leaned forward with a smile that suggested she saved her biggest bomb for last. With all the fortune, fame, and power, what is one thing you wish you had that money can't buy? Yibo froze for a moment. Xiao Zhan looked away. The entire room leaned in. After a long pause, Yibo said quietly, Peace. Xiao Zhan added, Someone who stays no matter what.